Hello, welcome to the BLEP Review 2025. My name is Sir Luke, and I will be your instructor for today. Our course is the Survey of English and American Literature. Before we begin, please remember to take notes and listen carefully. There will be 10 multiple choice questions, and you'll be given 20 seconds to think and answer each one before I reveal the correct answer. After each questions, I will explain the choices. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. The first question is, which of the following authors belongs to the Victorian period? A. Geoffrey Chaucer, B. William Shakespeare, or C. Charles Dickens? The second question is, who is considered the father of English poetry? A. William Shakespeare, B. Geoffrey Chaucer, C. John Milton, or D. Thomas More? The correct answer is B. Geoffrey Chaucer. Now, the first choice, A. William Shakespeare, is known to have another title, but later on we will discuss it. The next choice is Geoffrey Chaucer, which is the correct answer. Chaucer is often called the father of English poetry. Again, remember, Geoffrey Chaucer is called the father of English poetry because he helped legitimize writing in the Middle English with the Canterbury Tales, making literature more accessible to common readers. Next is John Milton. Again, Milton is a major English poet, but he came later and is known for again his work Paradise Lost. And D. Thomas More. More was a Renaissance writer and philosopher known for utopia but not primarily a poet. Okay? Third question. Which novel is considered a work in American literature and was written by Nathaniel Hawthorne? A. Moby Dick, B. Don Quixote, C. The Scarlet Letter, or D. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn? The correct answer is C. The Scarlet Letter. Now, the first choice is Moby Dick. This is an American novel. Remember, Moby Dick is an American novel, but it was written by Herman Melville, not Hawthorne. And next choice is B. Don Quixote. This is classic Spanish novel written by Miguel de Cervantes. Again, this is the only choice which came from the Spanish literature. And C. The Scarlet Letter. It is written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Remember, The Scarlet Letter is written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This novel explores themes of sin, guilt, and societal judgment in Puritan America. And last is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It is an American classic, but it was written by Mark Twain. Again, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Mark Twain, The Scarlet Letter, Nathaniel Hawthorne, Don Quixote, Miguel de Cervantes, and Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Next question is, he is known as the Bard of Stratford upon Avon. A. William Shakespeare, B. Geoffrey Chaucer, C. Guy de Maupassant, and D. Edgar Allan Poe. The correct answer is A. William Shakespeare. The first choice, William Shakespeare, which is the correct answer, like I said earlier, William or Shakespeare has his own title, and it is the Bard of Stratford upon Avon. He is called the Bard of Avon because he was born and raised in Stratford upon Avon, a town in England. Bard is an older term for a poet or a singer, and Avon refers to the river that flows through the Stratford. Essentially, it's a title that combines his poetic talent with his birthplace. The next choice, Geoffrey Chaucer. Again, Geoffrey Chaucer is known to be the father of, again, father of, correct. Now, C. Guy de Maupassant is a French writer famous for short stories, not English literature. And last, D. Edgar Allan Poe. Poe is a 19th century American writer known for his gothic tales and poetry. Number 5. Oscar Wilde wrote during which English literary period? A. Romantic. B. Victorian. C. Renaissance. D. The Enlightenment. Again, Oscar Wilde wrote during which English literary period? The correct answer is B. Victorian. Now, the first choice, the Romantic period, was earlier around late 1700s to early 1800s, which is Wilde came later. And B. Victorian, while Wilde lived during the late Victorian era from 1837 to 1901 and is known for his wit plays, The Importance of Being Earnest, and the novel The Picture of Dorian Gray. C. Renaissance. The period spanned the 14th to 17th centuries, long before Wilde. And last, the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment peaked in the 18th century and was more focused on philosophy and rationalism than Wilde's style. Again, B is the correct answer. Victorian era or Victorian period. Next question. Which novel was written by Emily Bronte? A. La Belle Dame sans Merci. B. The Telltale Heart. C. Wuthering Heights. And D. The Disappointment. Again, the question is, which novel was written by Emily Bronte? The correct answer is C. Wuthering Heights. The first choice, La Belle Dame sans Merci, this is a poem by John Keats. The next choice, The Telltale Heart, a short story by Edgar Allan Poe. And the third, which is the C, Emily Bronte's only novel, Wuthering Heights, is a gothic love story filled with passion, revenge, and tragedy. And last, The Disappointment. This is a poem by Apra Ben. Again, remember, A is a poem by John Keats. B, it is a short story by Edgar Allan Poe. And C, Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte's only novel. And D, The Disappointment is a poem by Apra Ben. In William Blake's poem, the chimney sweeper. Who are the chimney sweepers? A. Parents. B. Children. C. Workers. Or D. Soldiers. Again, the question is, in William Blake's poem, The Chimney Sweeper, who are the chimney sweeper? The correct answer is B. Children. Now, the first choice is parents. They are sometimes referenced but are not the chimney sweepers themselves. B, which is the correct answer, the chimney sweepers are children, often orphans who were forced into dangerous labor like cleaning chimneys. Blake used them to symbolize the innocence and societal neglect. C, which is partially correct but too vague. The poem specifically focuses on child laborers. And D, soldiers, which is the poem has nothing to do with war or military life. Again, the correct answer is B, the chimney sweepers are children. Let's go back to Geoffrey Chaucer's famous novel. The question is, in the Canterbury Tales, what is a group of people traveling together to a holy site called? Again, the question is, what is the group of people traveling together to a holy site called? A. Crusaders. B. Missionaries. C. Pilgrims. Or D. Monks. Okay, now the correct answer is C. Pilgrims. While the first choice, Crusaders, they were warriors or knights who joined the military expeditions during the medieval crusades to reclaim the Holy Land. They were not that kind of peaceful religious travelers depicted in the Canterbury Tales. And the next choice, missionaries. Missionaries are often or individuals who travel to spread their religious faith, often to non-Christian regions. The travelers in the Canterbury Tales were not spreading religion but making a pilgrimage. The correct answer C, pilgrims. Well, in the Canterbury Tales, the characters are pilgrims traveling to Canterbury to visit the shrine of Saint Thomas Becket. A pilgrimage is a religious journey to a sacred site, often for the spiritual purposes. And the last, monks, they are member of religious order who live in a monastic communities. While a monk is one of the characters in the tale, not all the travelers are monks. The group as a whole is referred as pilgrims. Again, the correct answer is C, pilgrims. In Beowulf, what is the name of the poetic device that uses compound words combined to create metaphorical expressions? A. Alliteration. B. Kenning. C. Caesura. Or D. Circumlocution. Again, the question is, what is the poetic device that uses compound words to combine or to create metaphorical expressions? The choices are alliteration, kenning, caesura, circumlocution. The correct answer is B, kenning. Now, the first choice, alliteration, it refers to the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of nearby words. For example, slippery serpent slithered. While commonly used in Beowulf, it refers to sound, not metaphorical expression. The next choice, kenning. Kenning is the figurative expression made by combining two words to describe something indirectly. For example, from Beowulf, Whale Road, it means the sea. Battle Sweat means blood. Again, kenning is a figurative expression made by combining two words to describe something indirectly. Like for example, the whale and the road, which means the sea. Next choice, caesura. It refers to a pause or break in the middle of a line of poetry. It helps with the rhythm but is unrelated to the metaphorical language that we are looking for. And D, circumlocution. It means talking around a subject rather than addressing it directly. It's a stylistic way of being indirect, but it's not the specific poetic device used in Beowulf. Again, the correct answer in this number is B, kenning. The last question. In the Canterbury Tales, what reward does the host promise to the pilgrim who tells the best story? A. A golden quill. B. A horse and a cloak. C. A free meal at the Tabard Inn. And D. A special prayer at the Canterbury Cathedral. Again, the question is, what reward does the host promise to the pilgrim who tells the best story? The choices are a golden quill, a horse and a cloak, a free meal at the Tabard Inn, a special prayer at the Canterbury Cathedral. And the correct answer is C, a free meal at the Tabard Inn. Now, the first choice, a golden quill, while it sounds poetic, Geoffrey Chaucer never mentions a golden quill as a prize, and it is not a part of the tale's structure. The next choice, B, a horse and a cloak, there's there's no mention there's no mention of such material rewards. The prize is meant to be simple and social, not grand or noble. And C, the correct answer, the host promises that the best storyteller will receive a free supper at the Tabard Inn, the starting point of their journey, which is paid for by the other pilgrims, is a light-hearted, friendly reward. And D, a special prayer at the Canterbury Cathedral, which is also incorrect. The pilgrims are journeying to the Canterbury to honor Saint Thomas Becket, but no prayer or blessing is offered as a prize for the best story. Again, the reward is a free meal at the Tabard Inn. Remember that. That would be the end of the 10 multiple choice questions from the BLEP Review 2025. Now, thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something valuable, and more importantly, I hope you pass the BLEP with flying colors. Best of luck on your journey as a future licensed professional teacher.